So let's talk about clean room documentation, and specifically why the need for clean room documentation. The need for having documentation suitable for a controlled environment comes up because you're going to have various equipment manuals, procedural manuals, forms, job orders, work tickets. These are all going to require some type of paper to be taken into the clean room. And then finally, you're going to have technical people, engineers, line supervisors, people that are managing a particular tool. They're going to want to document their success or failure or outcomes within a clean room. So the reason for clean room documentation is because you want to keep track of what's happening. And until computer operated equipment, PDAs, tablets, until they replace notebooks and paper, there's still going to be the need for documentation in a clean room. Well, let's talk briefly about standard paper, which I have an example of here. Standard paper and clean room paper. Standard paper is cellulose. Cellulose is a technical name for wood pulp. And if you look at wood pulp, what you're going to notice is that the finish of cellulose paper has a roughness to it. It's not fine paper. And if you look at this paper under light, you're going to see that it's thicker and it's thinner. It's dark and it's light. That's because wood pulp paper has not been colarinized. It's not been flattened. And if you take this paper and you tear, what you're going to do is you're going to release all the loose fibers from the wood pulp. So let's compare standard paper with clean room paper. And if we look at our clean room notebook and we just feel the paper, feel a page of the paper, you can see just by feeling it, it's very smooth. And then take a sheet of this paper and put it up to light. And you'll notice when you put a sheet up to the light, you're going to see there's much less variability in it. The reason why there's much less variability is because the paper has been flattened. It's been colarinized. This is a synthetic type of paper. The core of this paper is wood pulp, so if we tear this paper, you can see the inside of the paper is wood pulp, but the actual paper itself that you're feeling has been synthetically coated. It's a latex impregmentation. So when you take a pen and you go to write on clean room paper, you'll notice that the ink adheres to clean room paper differently than it does absorb to standard wood pulp paper. Okay? So, the difference between standard paper and clean room paper is standard paper is just cellulose or wood pulp, no coating. Clean room paper has a synthetic coating. The most common types of configuration of clean room documentation is first notebooks. Probably the most common size notebook is this, 5.5 by 8.5, and then 8.5 by 11, and then we have a 3 by 5. These all come bag in a bag. They come not only as the paper college rule clean room, but you'll see that the cover is a non-shedding, non-particulating plastic. And then you'll see the spine is plastic as well. Typical metal spines can have metallic contamination. Normal notebooks just have a cardboard cover, which when you tear that, that's going to release contamination. So when people refer to a clean room notebook, they typically are referring to a document that has 100 pages to write on, which is 50 sheets, college rule. And as you can see, this is a 5 by 5 by 8 by 5. Typically, any clean room that is nanotech or cleaner is going to be using some type of clean room notebook. So this is great reason why when you segment a customer to ask what class is your clean room, and if they answer they're in a micro or a nano, they're probably using clean room notebooks. They're just not using them from us. Another consideration for clean room notebooks is it ESD compatible? This particular paper is ESD compatible, but the cover and the spine are not. So for specific applications, Valutek can offer on a custom order basis a clean room notebook that's ESD compatible. So what we've done is we have a front cover and a back cover and a spine that are basically carbon loaded plastic, right? It's going to be conductive. Where right now this plastic will hold a charge. So the most common type of clean room documentation is notebook, followed by what we'll call flat stock. And if we look at flat stock, the most common type of flat stock is 22 pound, 8.5 by 11 blue. And the reason why I want to illustrate a whole case is, if you're familiar with a standard ream of paper, a standard ream of paper is much thicker than this, but they're not more sheets. The reason why this ream of paper is so thin is the paper is very flat. So the most common color for cleanroom paper is blue, not white. The reason being for that is it's very easy to confuse white cleanroom paper with non-cleanroom paper. It's not so much of an issue with a notebook, because if you look at this notebook you can see, wow, look at this. It's got a special front, back, binding. You can see at a glance that this is cleanroom paper. But again, if you have a client that's asking for cleanroom flat stock, you should recommend to them to use this blue. Blue is the visual cue that this is used for in a cleanroom, and it should really not be used out of a cleanroom. The reason why we do not recommend white is it's very easy for engineers and technical people to take non-cleanroom paper into the cleanroom and cause cross-contamination. On a special order basis, we do also offer cleanroom paper in green, in yellow, in orange, and pink. Some facilities do use color coding for their cleanroom paper, but by and large, I would say over 80% of all cleanroom paper is 22 pound weight blue. We also have 30 pound weight available in larger sizes. And then another type of cleanroom paper is the sticky notepad. We offer cleanroom notepads in, I believe, a 3 by 5 size, which is a non-particle transferring, pressure sensitive adhesive, much like the 3M Post-it note, but it's made from synthetic cleanroom paper. So just to summarize, any cleanroom that's a nano is going to have a need for cleanroom notebooks and cleanroom flat stock. Most cleanrooms that are a micro should be aware that there are cleanroom notebooks, because my hunch is some people just don't know, and then some people might already have a catalog that they buy these from, which is, I suspect, why we don't hear from it that much. This is also not an item, the usage isn't directly correlated to the number of operators. The beauty of gloves and wipes is you know how many operators you have in a clean room, you're going to have that amount of usage. Some facilities might buy 300 of these for the beginning of a project, and then they won't buy cleanroom notebooks again for 3 or 4 months. So there isn't as much repetitive usage with the cleanroom paper and notebooks as there is with gloves and wipes. Thank you.